One man changed a kitten's life, and what he did was heroic. But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to HappyWorld, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories. One kitten proved her worth by showing how tough she was. June had dealt a tough hand to her. When she was only a few weeks old, she was brought into a shelter. But little June shouldn't have lasted so long on her own. June was different from other kittens, and one man saw that. But the way in which he saved June's life was so utterly memorable, it melted hearts everywhere. June was found wandering the streets of Cape Town. She was only a few weeks old at the time. When she was picked up, she seemed to have no family with her. Just one lone little kitten fending for herself. Unfortunately, the person who found her couldn't keep her. It seemed the lady had a cat allergy, but luckily she knew where to take little June. June was immediately taken to DARG, Domestic Animal Rescue Group. This group is a pro-life organization dedicated to rescuing and caring for abandoned animals. When the team saw June, they instantly fell in love with her. And when they heard her story, they were even more amazed. But there was something that needed to be done. June had to get checked to see if she was okay. And after wandering the streets for so long, her odds didn't seem too good. The team at DARG knew it was crucial to check June's vitals. She seemed to be in good health, but they could never be sure. So June went off for her full physical, and the little kitten passed with flying colors. Remarkably, she had no worms, malnutrition, or other harmful conditions. However, there was one thing. The vet noticed that June was a little different from other kittens, and he was amazed she'd survived alone in this condition. After observing the kitten, the DARG doctor realized something. She was completely blind. It was suspected she'd been born this way. What a wonder June was. But the odds didn't add up. She was only a few weeks old, meek and fragile, and surely unable to fend for herself. June was a sheer miracle indeed. But after observing June, the team at DARG noticed something that helped them understand her survival. It would appear the kitten had no idea she was any different. She'd raced down the halls alongside the other cats. She was oblivious to the fact that she had no sight. Her energy was incredibly infectious, and her resilience really left the staff in awe. They marveled at the tiny kitten. She seemed to be fearless. It was no wonder she'd survived the streets of Cape Town on her own. But she caught the eye of one staff member in particular. When Holly Gilbert Jones saw the little kitten for the first time, she instantly fell in love. The resilience and determination of June inspired her, and June took to Holly like a duck to water. The pair were inseparable, but Holly knew it couldn't be. Sadly, she just couldn't get invested in every animal she cared for, but she had a plan up her sleeve. Holly knew she had to post about June. When people saw this little kitten, she knew they'd fall in love. She had. So Holly began to snap away. She had to get the best picture of little June for social media. Then she began to post. She knew the public would love this kitten, so with bated breath, she waited for a response to her post. Then, finally, she got a response. One woman responded to Holly's post. It wasn't much, but it was something. She requested to view the cat. At that, Holly's attention peaked. She didn't like the way the lady referred to June as merely a cat, but she arranged for the pair to visit. The lady arrived. She was cool and aloof, not what Holly had hoped for, but things only went from bad to worse. As soon as the woman saw June's eyes, she asked what was wrong with her. Holly told the lady she was blind. The woman then proceeded to go off on a rant about false advertising. She asked how she was meant to train a kitten who could not see. This made Holly's blood boil, and she blatantly asked the woman to leave. But now she was dismayed. What would June do now? One day, Andrew Duff was scrolling through Facebook, and an advert with little June popped up. Immediately, he ran to his girlfriend and showed her the post. The pair knew they had to have little June, and so, without even visiting her, they inquired about adoption. Holly was thrilled at the news. The young couple seemed like the perfect people for June. But then June saw the couple. She did something which is too cute to handle. June immediately fell in love with half of the pair. Andrew was the bee's knees to this little kitten. As they loaded her up into the car, she snuggled him intensely. June placed her tiny head on his neck and gave deep purrs of admiration. Rebecca shared, "I realized, well, that's it, he's become hers." And Andrew could not be happier. But when they brought June home, a problem presented itself. Andrew and Rebecca already had 2 cats of their own. And while humans fell in love with June easily, felines weren't so easy. The pair's cats were not charmed with their new addition. In the first few weeks, there was a lot of hissing around the house. Their home had become a war zone, and the couple feared it would never get better. But June amazed everyone yet again. June continuously made attempts to play with the other cats. It was as though she was determined to win the pair over. And with her relentless persistence, she eventually prevailed. The 3 are now thick as thieves and June's sister to one another. This made Andrew and Rebecca incredibly happy, but it also gave them a sense of relief. But there was still one unanswered question they just couldn't understand. June will forever be an enigma. Though she has resilience, her survival was still unlikely. And yet she made it through the mean streets of Cape Town alone. This little animal is a true inspiration to all who meet her. Her infectious energy and love will have you eating out of her paw. Andrew and Rebecca may never understand how she survived, but they're sure glad she did.